Welcome to Broadway Life, where we teach you how to get a Broadway life.
Ooh.
Get a life, but...
Get a Broadway life.
Get a Broadway life. I'm Bret Shuford, the Broadway Life Coach. I'm here with Lindsay.
Hello.
From Wicked. Tell the people what you do in Wicked on Broadway.
I play Glinda in Wicked on Broadway. And I love it. Glinda is a little full of herself. She wants power and she loves to be the center of attention.
Why did you book this role?
Well, it's funny. I know I've told the story a few times, but I've been going in for Nessa for a long time because I have brown hair. I mean, right now I have these blonde highlights, so
which looks fabulous.
I look like Britney Spears. So I've been going in for Nessa since I graduated, which seemed right. I never actually thought I could do Glinda. I never thought I could play her because she's high soprano. So I'd been going in for Nessa for several years and it never happened. I would get to the final callback and then it wouldn't happen and I would be devastated, you know. Once I did Newsies, I was talking with my agents and I was like, I'd love to be considered for Glinda. I know that Nessa's never worked out, but I've expressed interest in Glinda and I know that they're like, she's not that, but I wonder if they will reconsider, at least let me try. And so he's like, all right, we'll try. And then the tour was opening up, and he said, you know, I have an appointment for you for Glinda. And I was like, great. Oh, God, okay, this is what I was asking for. I can't mess it up. So I, coached it with a friend. I life coached it with my friend Brian Sills. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know Brian.
Oh, my God, he is, yeah. I love him. Yeah. He's and I went in, and it feels... I think that Glinda is quirky and a little bit odd, you know, and I think if you grow up in a privileged, sheltered family, you're not going to be normal, you know, there's going to be something a little off about you. So, and I didn't grow up in a privileged family by any means. I grew up in a middle-class family. But I think, you know, I was very shy and always very quirky and weird. So tapping into that was easy for me. That Glinda also has a lot of heart, you know. I think in the end, the relationship between her and Elphaba is so beautiful. I mean, if you do bring your heart to it, you know. And I have a sister and I love her. She's my best friend, and that's what I think Elphaba is. And so that's easy for me, you know, to want to be around Elphaba and want to just love on her so much, and you know, so much that it's annoying. That was me to my sister. I was like, can I wear your clothes? Can I just be around you all the time? Does
it shift for you, change every time you get a new Elphaba? I mean, how many Elphabas have you had?
Oh my gosh, I sound like such a slut. I've had 13, 14.
What?
Including standbys and understudies.
Oh, yeah, sure. So,
and Jenny DeNoia, who's playing it now, played Elphaba in more countries and cities than any other Elphaba. Isn't that crazy?
That's cool.
But yeah, she's fantastic. And everybody is just a tiny bit different. And they're all very different because we're human. And,
right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, you know, it would be easy to just give one word to describe each person, you know,
oh, I love that.
You know, because they're all so definitively their own Elphaba.
Could you come up with a word for Jenny?
I think it's sensitivity, because I think that many times you think that the Elphaba is always this powerhouse beltress, and I love that she brings this beautiful sensitivity to her. I think it just adds a whole other layer.
You could say one theme. I know there's lots of themes in Wicked.
Yeah.
But what do you think the one essence of the story is?
The two sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially now it's so important. You know, there's so much fear and everything with the election. No matter which side you are, just these two people could not be more different. You know, this green, angry girl and this bubbly, blonde, pink girl who thinks she's the world revolves around her. They are at such odds and they hate each other, you know? And then they're able to find common ground and realize that, all the petty things that they were hating each other over didn't matter. They were pointless. And life is too short for that. And they found that they really cared about one another and they're both just human.
What changes that for them? or for you? I mean, maybe you can speak.
Well, I think that she's watching everybody hate her. This one person who's so helpless and has nobody on her side. And I think that Glinda's heart grew 2 sizes. In that moment.
So that's
I think
that's a
it's
click for her, and like the realization that.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, on the day after the election, November 9th, the show I think we had like a couple high schools at the show, and they got it. Like, they understood the meaning of the show and how important it was, especially after this particular election, which was really awesome and beautiful. And coming
one of the
together.
things that you said that I think is super powerful too is about the judgment.
Yeah.
Judging.
Well, it's just a fear of not knowing that person.
Also, like, us as an audience interpreting her as evil versus good, that you can't judge a book by its cover, and if you don't know the full story, then you can't pass judgment. I think that's really beautiful too.
Yeah, no, well said.
It's something that we all very easily do, especially now, because we're so inundated with social media and the news. I mean, you watch the news now, it's like it's just like the apocalypse outside.
Right, and you think everybody is a terrorist.
Right.
Maybe they're not.
Or even you look at somebody's Instagram account and you're like, they look so happy, but you don't really
know.
Oh,
yeah,
you don't know what's really going on.
Yeah.
So you can't pass judgment until you really know the story, because we're all more than just this surface.
Oh yeah, especially now with social media. We can make it look like it's all rainbows and butterflies and unicorns.
I always feel like after every show, when I've ever done a show, I've learned something through the story or through even just the people I worked with that changes my perception of life. What do you think Wicked has done for you that's sort of shifted? How do you look at life differently?
I never thought about that. So not only just the story that we're telling every night, but also my own personal story with auditioning for it. I think that we can prove people wrong. Like, the perception of me as Kara was that I was not Glinda. Like, I couldn't do that. They're like, no, you can't do that. We're not going to have you come in for that, But then I went in and I got to do it. And I also thought I couldn't do it. So, like, we could prove ourselves wrong. We can prove other people wrong, So I think that's a great lesson that, I think there's so much fear in this business of ourselves, of failing. And I know that I carry a lot of that. So I think I was afraid of approaching this and not being able to do it and possibly falling on my face. But what's the worst that can happen? I just break a nose.
Or you do it for 2 years.
Or you do it for 2 years, yeah.
So if you were going to tell someone how to live their best Broadway life.
I think I'm going to throw it back to Evan Kaspersak, who was in Newsies with me. I think, my mom has always taught me this as well, but this is something that Evan always says in talkbacks with kids, especially. So you just be nice to everybody. And I think that's the moral of the story with Wicked, too, with that story. It's just kindness, and a little bit of that goes a long way, and you never know who you may be talking to.
Oh, I love that.
It's like Ellen DeGeneres. Be kind to one another. I love her.
All right, so if you love this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, go see Kara. How long are you in Wicked till?
Till July 30th.
Till the summer, so go see her in Wicked.
And Bret and Paramore.
I'm in Paramore for another month.
Well, you better get on it.
Yeah, hurry up. And thank you for joining us. Live your best Broadway life.
Live your best Broadway life.